It's been a minute since UND was on the ice in a game setting. We will tell you what the team's been up to and preview their massive two-game set with Western Michigan here on this week's edition of North Dakota Hockey Central, your television home for all things UND hockey. I'm Alex Heinert. Coming up, we will hear from Brad Berry on how his squad has made the most of the postponement of last week's series with Omaha before setting their sights on the Broncos and the Olympic Games. Plus, we will get to know Jackson Kunz, the latest Grand Forks product to earn a spot at the program he grew up supporting. First, though, we're going to show you the latest installment of Through These Doors. Enjoy.
North Dakota was scheduled to take on Nebraska Omaha last weekend to open the second half of NCHC play. However, COVID-19 had other plans.
Yeah, I think it was a situation where, kind of one by one, our group wasn't feeling themselves a little bit. And we had a couple of good practices on Monday and Tuesday, and by Wednesday, after a few guys getting tested and getting a feyou positive cases, we had to look in our group and see if we had enough bodies to play a game, and we couldn't check those boxes to move on. And you know what? Not feeling bad. There's other teams around the country and within our league that had to postpone games as well. It's just something we're going through as a group and what's going through the area right now.
Yeah, it's definitely disappointing to have things fall through for COVID reasons. Obviously, everybody's sick of that and everybody's frustrated with that, but you kind of do your best to just take it on the chin and do your best to stay in shape and keep working and get ready for the next one.
Yeah, I mean, we live in a world now where there's a lot of uncertainty and with everything that's going on, but saying that, I think for us, it's just a matter of staying ready and knowing that there's going to be ups and downs, and you might have an off weekend here and there.
We were looking forward to it and building up to playing Omaha there last week, but I think they did a great job, and I'm really happy we got the games rescheduled. Found a weekend for those, so I'm really happy that we're not missing any games.
Our guys are focused, and I think they're open-minded, they're flexible, they're patient. So it's a situation where we're going forward now. We have 14 games in 7 weeks with no off weekends now, and we're going to be going here, and our guys are excited about the future.
With the unexpected break, players and coaches adjusted to make the most of their open weekend.
Well, I think it's a chance to regroup and get things in, work on some things. And when we didn't have the numbers available, we didn't take a day off. The guys that were healthy enough to practice, we got out there and we enhanced their game individually and tried to work on some things in small group scenarios. And now we got everybody together, and it gives us a situation of getting extra days under our belt to get ready for this sprint.
Yeah, no, not much. Honestly, we were just bearing down on our school. We spent a lot of time here, and I know those guys were itching to come here, and obviously, unfortunately, they weren't able to.
Personally, I was using YouTube. I was doing YouTube yoga stuff and core, whatever exercises I could find, and some band work. But get creative and do your best to get a sweat in.
No, don't. I don't even own a console, but all you hear in our household is people screaming at each other from upstairs now. It's pretty hilarious, actually.
No, I do not own Xbox or PlayStation, but our house loves to play Catan, so we really get into some serious Catan games. There might be a few encounters where we get a little maybe aggressive with each other at times, but no, it's a lot of fun. We play a lot of Catan.
Who usually wins?
I hate to say it, but Heinert. He somehow pulls it out every time. Lingers in the last place and then jumps out of nowhere to win it.
Actually, I was fortunate enough that the guys that weren't in quarantine were bringing me meals. So the cooking is going to have to wait till the spring, I guess.
Yeah, some people needed some to-go boxes from the rink here, so definitely loaded up a few of those and walking out like a pizza man, carrying the boxes around, delivering them out to people.
I think I'd usually package up 4 or 5 boxes every day. I would just run them home, drop them off, and head to my room. That's kind of my route.
So a lot of hanging out, a lot of catching up on our favorite TV shows, watching football over the weekend, just kind of resting, relaxing, trying to get your mind away from hockey, take advantage of a break.
Yeah, it was just kind of nice to be able to relax, just hang out at my house and watch some Yellowstone. Big into that show, so. But yeah, no, it was nice, relaxing, kind of just let the body rebuild itself. But looking forward to get going this weekend again.
This weekend, UND travels to Kalamazoo to take on a big, heavy veteran squad in Western Michigan.
Well, I think the experience of their group, they were one of the teams that retained a lot of their fourth-year players, their seniors, to come back a fifth year due to the COVID rule, and they're having some success because of that. They've gotten some good goaltending, and their defense is playing very well too. So, having depth in their group is something that they have this year, and obviously we do too.
Yeah, I mean, they're super talented. They're an older team, experienced. Returned a lot of guys. They play hard. They play really fast. So you got to be ready, and that building is super hostile. And if you start slow, they'll jump on you quick, and they'll have a couple goals before their first TV timeout. So you got to come in ready to fight, and it'll be a good weekend.
It's huge. Obviously, our conference, the parity in it's pretty unbelievable. So, you go to war every night, and it's going to be a war in Western. Obviously, NCHC points are huge. So, we're looking up for the challenge, and we're really excited to get to Western.
It gets loud. Their fans they have a good fan base, and they pack that place pretty good every single night, and it just kind of feels like they're on top of you, and it's a fun atmosphere to play in. Those are the fun games when the fans are into it, and you come into a rink, and your goal is to kind of silence them, and it's fun to go to rinks like that.
My first ever college game was actually at Lawson, way back in 2018, 2017. So they're infamous, whoever's wearing number 4 chant. My first game, I thought they were saying forward. So I thought I was getting it for no reason because it was my first game. I was like, what did I do to deserve this? But I quickly learned that it was number 4.
I heard it's a fun place to play for them. I heard it's a pretty tough place to play for us. I think that was my brother's least favorite rink to go into. I think it has its name for a reason, but I think we're looking forward to it. It'll be a cool place for us to play, and pretty fun environment, I think.
Oh, it's critical. It's a big deal, and they'll be rested and they'll be amped up, ready to play because they haven't played in a while. But there again, they haven't played against competition. I'm sure they're doing kind of simulated scrimmages and different things like that to try to get those reps in as far as game-like situations. But at the end of the day, it isn't a game, and I think we have to try to take advantage of that right away. First period on Friday night in Western.
Like I said, we're really excited to go out and play against an NCHC team with this, obviously last weekend kind of being canceled and having that disappointment. It brings a lot more excitement to this weekend just to be able to get back at it, and super excited to go on the road again with the guys and play Western.
Good stuff by our own Marty Mueller, Jeremy Klein, and the rest of the Through These Doors crew. Next up on this week's show, head coach Brad Berry stops by to detail how his team has been preparing for one of the biggest weekends of their season. That's next. Welcome back to North Dakota Hockey Central. Let's go to Ralph Engelstad Arena now for a few good minutes with head coach Brad Berry after a start-stop week for his program and college hockey in general. Brad, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Alex. Great to be here.
First off, and most importantly, how's your team and staff feeling after COVID-19 hit your program last week?
Yeah, you know what? I think there was a little bit of anxiety, you could probably call it, and wonderment as far as what that looked like. Over the last couple of years, there's a lot of stuff going on, but our guys are focused, and I think they're open-minded, they're flexible, they're patient. So it's a situation where we're going forward now. We have 14 games in 7 weeks with no off weekends now, and we're going to be going here, and our guys are excited about the future.
Yeah, you were not expecting to be off this past week, but all that changed last Wednesday. Talk us through the events that led to the postponement of your series with Omaha.
Yeah, I think it was a situation with, getting into all the details, but, a few guys weren't feeling as well as they should have, and, a situation where, kind of one by one, our group wasn't feeling themselves a little bit, and we had a couple of good practices on Monday and Tuesday, and by Wednesday, after a few guys getting tested and getting a few positive cases, we had to look in our group and see if we had enough bodies to play a game, and there's a minimum requirement in the NCHC, and it's 15 skaters, 2 goaltenders, 2 coaches, and we couldn't check those boxes to move on. And you know what? Not feeling bad. There's other teams around the country and within our league that had to postpone games as well. It's just something we're going through as a group and what's going through the area right now.
Those games against UNO now shift to the first week of February. As a result, your home series against Colorado College has been moved into your bye week. With all these moving pieces involving 8 programs in this league, what can you say about the job that Josh Fenton and the NCHC have done with making the pieces fit to still keep every game on the schedule?
Well, Josh Fenton and Michael Wiseman that are leading up this NCHC, they've done a tremendous job over the years. And you know, you go as far as saying even last year when we had to do the pod in Omaha and the playoff pod here in Grand Forks, they did an outstanding job to let us have a season and to let us complete a year where there's a lot of, I guess, wonder if we're going to play games. And it's the same this year. You know, obviously we have a little pause in the action right now with a lot of teams, but you know, the biggest thing is playing games, not throwing games away and having no contest games. We all want to play the games and have a full schedule, and they're doing whatever it takes for all the members to get those games in. So they've done a tremendous job here this year, and it's all about leadership, and they're quality leaders.
It's not ideal to have to adjust your schedule and move games around, but how can you take the lack of a series this past weekend and use it as a positive?
Well, I think it's a chance to regroup and you know, get things in, work on some things. And you know, when we didn't have the numbers available, we didn't take a day off. The guys that were healthy enough to practice, we got out there and we you know, enhanced their game individually and tried to work on some things in small group scenarios. And now we got everybody together, and it gives us a situation of getting extra days under our belt to get ready for this sprint we call of 14 games leading into the playoffs.
Another positive, one cool development that was made public this past week was the announcement that Jake Sanderson had been named to the U.S. Olympic team. It's obviously going to be hard to lose one of the top players in college hockey for up to a month, but this is an incredible opportunity for him.
Yeah, you got to look at it as a glass half full, and we do, and we look at it as a full glass, meaning that, hey, we got one of our players that got invited to play in the highest level in international competition in the Olympics, and that's Jake Sanderson. And you know, we never turn away from those opportunities, and it's a great thing for him and great thing for our program. And next thing is it gives opportunity for our guys in our program. And you know, when Jake was out of our lineup in the first half of the season for 4 games, we won 3 of the 4 games. And so it's a situation where other guys have to step up. They did before, and they'll do it again.
You will have Jake on hand for the next 2 weekends before he departs, starting with a big road series at Western Michigan. The Broncos are number 4 in the country right now. What's allowed them to elevate their game this year?
Well, I think the experience of their group. You know, they were one of the teams that retained a lot of their fourth-year players, their seniors, to come back a 5th year due to the COVID rule, and you know, they're having some success because of that. You know, they've got some good freshmen in their lineup as well, but you know, having the depth of their program and having guys that have been in that program a while, it's given them some success. You know, when you got guys like Ethan Frank, I think he has 17 goals, scoring 17 goals in their group, and you know, plays a fast game, and you know, they've gotten some good goaltending, and their defense is playing very well too. So you know, having depth in their group is something that you know, they have this year, and obviously we do too.
Former Bronco player and assistant coach Pat Ferschweiler is now in charge. How have you seen any change, or have you seen any change in the style of their game from the Andy Murray teams of recent years?
Yeah, no, I think there's a few different changes in the group that he brought there. You know, they're playing a fast north game, and you know, I think it's one of those things where, you know, Pat was part of that group as an assistant coach, you know, and now he's the head coach, and he has familiarity with some of those guys. And I think it's a situation where, you know, Andy did a great job when he was there, and Pat's trying to just continue to carry the torch there.
You've not played in 2 weeks, but Western hasn't seen the ice since December 29th. After that long of a layoff for your opponents, how important does a fast start become for you on Friday?
Oh, it's critical. It's a big deal, and you know, they'll be rested and they'll be, you know, amped up, ready to play because they haven't played in a while. But there again, they haven't played, you know, against competition. I'm sure they're doing kind of simulated scrimmages and different things like that to try to get, you know, those reps in as far as game-like situations. But at the end of the day, it isn't a game, and I think we have to try to take advantage of that right away. First period on Friday night in Western.
It should be another fun weekend at Lawson, and we're thankful your group is healthy and ready for it. Thanks for the time, Brad. Safe travels, and good luck against the Broncos.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. We're really excited about getting the stretch run going here and making the North Dakota nation proud here.
I'm sure they will be, absolutely. One of the men tasked with getting UND back on track this weekend has been attending North Dakota hockey games since he was 2 years old. We get to know freshman Jackson Kunz when North Dakota Hockey Central returns. Welcome back. Of the 5 native North Dakotans on this year's UND roster, 4 hail from inside the Grand Forks city limits, and 3 of those 4 are freshmen this season. The first of the Grand City's newcomers to be featured in our Meet the Freshman series is Grand Forks Central alum Jackson Kunz.
I'm Jackson Kunz from Grand Forks, North Dakota, and I'm a forward here at the University of North Dakota. UND hockey, I mean, it's kind of all we got here, and the town loves it, so, and I know that because I've been growing up watching and coming to the games, so. It's honestly hard to put into words, you know, you dream, you grow up watching, like I said, since I was 2, and you just dream of playing here, and then you get the opportunity, and it's finally here, and I don't know, there's not much else to say about it. It's all right, it's quiet. I mean, obviously they've produced some D1 players like Judd, Caleb, Dane, all those other guys here from Grand Forks, but we all end up moving away, and I mean, it's tough, but in the end, it's worth it. You get to come back and play here. Yeah, I mean, it's a deep history of that rivalry there, and it was awesome to play couple of games against them my freshman year when I played at Red River, but yeah, having me and Dane from Red River and Caleb and Judd from Central is pretty fun. Oh yeah, it's just random stuff like, oh, why'd you go there, why'd you go here, and that kind of stuff. But I'm a quiet guy. I like to stay humble and kind of do my own thing. Sit back and watch and laugh at all the clowns like Schmaltz was saying, but my whole life I've been a quiet and shy guy. I mean, I don't like to mess up, so I'm super tentative when it comes to the coaches or captain talking. I just like to pay attention and kind of follow along, but also do my own thing and go about my day. It was cool, obviously, but it was kind of a weird situation where there was an in-person draft, and we actually just got done with practice in Green Bay, and I was getting undressed, and the coach came and found me and said, Coons Vancouver, and then all the boys came up and gave me a hug or whatever, and then the phone started blowing up, so that was a pretty special day. I don't really have one being from here. Kind of all we got is UND hockey and football. But I know most people like the Vikings, but I haven't really hopped on that train.
Do you feel good about that decision?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's me, Caleb, and then Jacob Helston. So 2 goalies. Yeah.
What is it like living with a couple goalies?
I mean, I've known Caleb for however long, so that's normal. Obviously, they both got their little quirks or whatever being goalies, but I enjoy it. Talking. Well, yeah, that's not my favorite thing, just based on my personality, but I mean, I can do it. I'm Jackson Kunz from Grand Forks, North Dakota, and I'm a forward here at the University of North Dakota.
Kunz is a skilled power forward with a couple of goals to his name already this season. He has got a great chance to develop into a special player during his time with his hometown club. For Jackson and his teammates, the next test on the schedule is a stern one as UND travels to Kalamazoo to face number 4 Western Michigan. We'll look ahead to the series with the Broncos after this. Time to take stock of the college hockey landscape, starting with the latest DCU USCHO.com poll, where there is once again a new team at the top. Minnesota State could only earn a split on the road against Northern Michigan this past weekend, and that opened the door for Quinnipiac to take the top spot for the first time this year. The Bobcats have lost just once all season, a 3-1 home defeat in October to North Dakota, one of 5 NCHC teams in the top 9 again this week. Speaking of, the league standings still don't look all that different than they did at the start of the holiday break, with North Dakota in first and a chase pack of Denver, Western Michigan, and Minnesota Duluth a good weekend away from catching up. Note that even though preseason favorite St. Cloud State is a distant 12 points back, they do have 2 games in hand on the field after their series at DU was postponed this past weekend. So far, thankfully, no cancellations are on the cards in league play this week. The Huskies host Miami, Duluth travels to Omaha, and the Gold Pan Series resumes with a home-and-home in the Rockies. The marquee matchup of the weekend, though, will take place in the Mitten as UND heads to Lawson Arena to take on Western Michigan in the first of 2 meetings this season between 2 of the top contenders for Penrose Cup glory.
16 guys I don't think have been there, so it'll be fun for all of us playing there the first time. Also, just going on the road is always fun. Just spending like your whole weekend with your teammates, it's a lot of fun.
Number 9 North Dakota at number 4 Western. If you can't make the trip to Kalamazoo, NCHC.TV is the place to watch both games in the series, with puck drop set for 6:05 p.m. Central Time on both Friday and Saturday nights. It is set to be a heavyweight battle inside one of the most atmospheric venues in college hockey, and we will recap it all for you on our next edition of North Dakota Hockey Central in 1 week's time. Until then, on behalf of our Midco Sports crew, I'm Alex Heinert. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the hockey this weekend.